I welcome on easy learning. As I have already told you, this question I have prepared in my own writing, in my own language. If you want to do it, you can do yourself, but you must have the stockpile of vocabulary as well as the grammatical way, as well as the knowledge of whatever you are reading. So you should try to do yourself. It would be better for not only for preparing the assignment but also for the exam. Okay, so we are going to do the question number 2. What is problem behavior? Discuss the various techniques for conducting functional behavioral assessment. Okay, this is not assignment, this is assessment. Answer: problem behavior: any behavior that becomes the hurdles in teaching learning processes and that disrupts the individual and group interaction. The progress of an individual is completely not successful once one faces such hurdles. It dysfunctions the ability of a person. The individual is unable to manage with the right behaviors due to maladjustment. The problem sometimes of an individual cannot be taken seriously, like making noise in the classroom, abusing others, and torturing others without any reason. Such problems are found in the students because of their age. Problems must be taken seriously if it is practiced, okay, repeatedly in the classroom, as these can be chronic disturbances. The individual shows serious temper tantrum or a serious lie, okay, that may constitute problem in the psychological sense of term. All the children are born in any specific society wherein it has its own rules, regulations, term and conditions. The child has to follow some socio cultural norms of that group. The members living in the society have to follow and conform some certain standards. His or behavior should be acceptable to the society. The repeated objections of the norms of the society may be the concern for teachers, associates, or neighbors. The evaluation of the discrepancy of a child and the expected demands are always seen and interpreted. Any kind of antisocial elements not based on the conformity of the society is considered inappropriate for a child and taken seriously if the same is not practiced by the people living in that society. The frequent practices of robbery, stealing, abusing, torturing, cheating, and other misbehavior non acceptable in any society falls under problem behavior, but the same practices are not taken into serious misbehavior if any society practices them as well. The social systems on the pillars for any students that erect the base of any child. A behavior problem is clearly the outcome of a child living in a certain environment. It is the result of any environment in which a child lives in. It becomes the interaction of forces within him, her, his motives, wishes, and desires. Various techniques for conducting functional behavioral assessment. First is indirect assessment. Under this technique, the students, teachers, and other adults deal with the children's problem as the kind of misbehavior, how does it occur, in what condition it does not occur, the presence of the person who observes such behavior. In every behavior, One need to recall the previous cause of that and after that behavior, the kind of acceptable behavior to replace this behavior. Second point is direct assessment. In the step of assessment, observing and recording antecedents and consequence of events are involved with ABC approach. In third point, data analysis. It is important to read the next step of occurring behaviors, comparing and analyzing information collected to determine whether or not there are any patterns associated with the behavior. There are many kinds of behavior committed to pattern. Some are invisible while some are visible. In many conditions, certain behavior can be seen, like hitting, beating, abusing, and throwing to fulfill desirable things in life, while in some uncertain condition, these are not seen clearly, like thinking, imagining, recalling any earlier issue to take revenge or get benefit. In uncertain condition, the functional behavior assessment plan is reviewed and raised for the purpose of identification. In fourth point, hypothesis stated. The tentative solutions have to be formulated based on the information obtained from analysis. This hypothesis finds out the types of behavior occurs in different conditions, the level of behavior, the consequences that maintain the behavior. A single person is tested under this way. All this positive and negative action are kept in mind. The relevance of behavior is known. Can the function of the behavior be verified? And one can work out an individual behavior intervention plan. Environmental conditions are also taken into account to verify the hypothesis regarding the function of the behavior. After putting appropriate behavior, a person gets peer attention due to making provision in the environment. Even after manipulating the environment, if someone's behavior is seen unchanged, in that case, a new hypothesis needs to be created using data collected during the functional behavior assessment. Next is the fifth point, behavior intervention plan. A behavior plan for a child is created after collecting data on the child's problem behavior and after developing a hypothesis of the possibility of behavior. Intervention plan should not be based on one person's observation. While designing behavior intervention plan, one need to collect the data before behavior and after behavior. They need to be taught acceptable behavior should be used in appropriate behavior, need to change and modify the curriculum, instructional strategies, and physical environment. Next point is 6 possible alternative assessment strategies. Single source of information should not be used for accuracy because of changing nature of behavior with circumstances. We should use multiple sources and method for accurate information. While doing it, we need to focus on child's skill deficit to perform any specific task. On the basis of the skill deficit that is linked to the problem behavior, an assessment plan has to be formulated that intimately lead to more effective behavior intervention plan. It should emphasize on child's skills so that she behave appropriately in providing motivation to conform to the required standard and not on controlling behavior. in the way the child's social biological problems are resolved to make him her an appropriate type of human on growing. Okay, with this question was also about 100 words answer, and with this question is over. Okay, we'll meet in next video.